off the record,
Yes.
Pastor Jack, is it wrong for churches to start implementing cryptocurrency as a way for people to give at church?
Well, I think that is a good question, because I think traditionally people would give, I remember people would bring their offerings or their tithe to the church. And if you look back, long back, it wouldn't always be paper-based offering, because people didn't have paper. They had, maybe they had some
gold
vegetables or gold bars, the Kruger Millions, they came and offered them. No, it was probably, they came with maybe a basket of food or something. I mean, if you look in the Bible, Abel brought and Cain brought different offerings.
Sure.
They weren't paper-based at all. In the first offerings in the Bible were sheep and they were animals, and they were vegetables and stuff from the land. So I think, again, to answer that, to me, I feel that, I have to go back to that subjective and objective giving, because subjective giving is really our attitude of our heart. Yeah. So God looks at us and say, He doesn't really care about what's in your hand. He's caring about what's in your heart. What is that subjective thing? It's your attitude of giving, and then objectively, it's what's in your hand. Is it an apple? Is it a crypto? Is it because I'm trying to say to God, I want to give you something, and God's never offended by what it is. Yeah. He looks at the heart. He's worried about the heart.
Something comes to mind when you say that, because there was that incident, but that time where Jesus was in a church and people were giving, and all these rich people giving quite a lot of them, and the woman that came with only 2 coins. Yeah. And God says what she gave was more valuable. Why was that though? Because in today's world, I place my value into, if I give 1,000 and he gives 10 rand, I've given more. But in Jesus' time, he said she gave more because she had 2. So with what you're saying, subjective giving, is the value of what you're giving is placed in the heart, in the attitude, in what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's both, Mac. I think it's subjective, because you can't just say, I'm going to give him my heart, and God knows it, but give nothing physically. There needs to be there needs to be an exchange. I need to do something. Yes. Otherwise, I'm cheating. Yeah. But I think both of them are valuable in the sense that if you look at it, that woman, God did see her heart. Yeah. So subjectively, he looked at her heart. But she also physically gave her last coin. So in proportion to the rich people, they were giving out of their abundance. She was giving out of basically all she had. So God was saying it's not only her heart that was right subjectively, and intrinsically he looked at her heart, at the value, but he also looked objectively what's in her hand. She gave everything. So I think it was more about the sacrifice as opposed to, but I'll give God what's left over. Or, if I make a lot of money out of crypto, I'll think about giving God something. It's back to that same old thing. I've got no skin in the game because I haven't really sacrificed anything. I'm giving overflow stuff. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, it's God's fault, and so I'm giving him nothing. Yeah. So you can't play that Russian roulette with God about crypto. But to answer it, I don't think God is intimidated about anything we give him, as long as it's it's honest gain, and as long as it's something that really means that we're sacrificing something because we're honoring God. Yeah. Whether it's our time, our skills. I was thinking about this morning when I woke up crazily enough early, that, about that, many years ago, NFTs, Newton's just triggered something with the NFTs, which is now, non-fungible tokens. In other words, you can't exchange them. They've got the value because they are perceived as something very special and unique through blockchain. Yeah. But I thought, how would we bring an NFT to the Lord as a token? Because giving is a token. It's a token of my love, my appreciation for God. So how do I bring an NFT token? Now, I'm not saying somebody should give me one, but imagine if they did, and I was God. Maybe they could. So I'm just thinking, now this is how it would work in my eyes. Many years ago, we did bring NFT tokens to God. They were called cows. So we would bring the cow to the priest, and we would say, this is my offering. It's my cow. It's a very valuable asset. It's to me a lifeline. I'm giving it because I love God.
Is that like what happened with the tabernacle? Because you had the person bringing one thing, and then you had to bring some sort of sacrifice, and then you go in there.
So you could say that was a type of an NFT they brought, but it was a very heavy NFT, and so all the deacons said, listen, we can't carry these cows around. We need to tell the people bringing these NFT cows to rather milk the cow. So instead of bringing the cow, they milked the cow now, and they made cheese out of it. So now they brought the milk and the cheese to the church to say, this is now our offering, our token, our non-refundable token to the Lord. But now that also got too much, so times changed. And so what happened, I believe, if I want to use this example, is that the priest said to the guys, listen, we appreciate that you're not bringing the cows anymore, and you're not bringing the milk and the cheese, but can you now maybe just sell the milk for us, sell the cheese, and bring the money? And so they said, okay, cool. Now the guys that were happy with the deacons because their load was getting less, now they just had to collect money. But now with NFTs, how do I equate the cow to the NFT? Now, this is my example. That if you, now they don't wanting just the cow, they don't just want the milk and the cheese. They say, listen, can't you just take a picture of the cow and sign it? And we can then go to Woolworths and we can redeem our token there at Woolworths. So that would be a modern way of saying, how would an NFT work as an offering to God? But to answer it, that's just a joke. To offer it
off the record.
Off the record. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of criticism for that example. But to answer your question, Newton, I don't think that God is offended if we are giving him crypto, and maybe one day people will be tithing in crypto. I think there are already people doing it because they're buying cars with crypto. They are exchanging money in the bank. So it's just another exchange system that's foreign to us. Now, if we now get all spiritual about crypto and say how bad it is and how good money is, we just have to go and look at all the money laundering going on, all the drug money going on, and then say money is an exchange system. It's not holy. It's what we're doing it in our hands. So I think that the churches are going to be confronted by one day saying, people say, I can't bring the cow, can't bring the milk, the cheese, I can't bring the money, but here's my crypto.
That's interesting.
Or my NFT.